guys, this is Iron Kamikaze, and I'm going to show you guys how to wire in a CB radio for your Master Chief or helmet. Regardless, it doesn't matter what it goes in, really does it. Alright, so this is my model here. What I've done, let's get up here and do some displaying here. What I've done is I've taken a CB radio and wired it in so that it has an extension on it for a push button, push to talk on the outside of my helmet. It's very easy to do this. It's not really that complicated, but I was asked to do a tutorial by a couple of members. I believe Shark's Head was one of them, and I'm going to show you guys how I did all this. This is a combined effort between me and Juice, I might add that too. Me and him come up with this idea for the cons. We was thinking about Dragon Con particularly, and wanting to be able to communicate inside there. So this is what we come up with, and I'll just get started right on with it, man. This is what you do. Take your CB radio. This right here is a CB radio from Walmart. I do have a little bit more money wrapped up in this one than the one that's in my helmet. I use this one quite often with different things. This is about a $30 to $35 model here. You can get them for 20 bucks for two. It's not really that bad. But here we go. This is what you do. Take your CB, bring it apart. Save your power supply. Don't destroy any of this. Save it all. All right. So once you get it broke down, this is what we're going for. We're looking for this right here, man. That right there. That is your push to talk switch. What we're going to do is we're going to take this switch and we're going to add an extension to it. How you're going to do that is you're going to take a soldering gun. Take your soldering gun, slightly heat the contact points on here. On this one, let me grab my pointer again. Alright, on this one, the contact points on here are here, 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 and here. There's 4 of them. 2 of them are stabilizers. 2 of them are the actual contact points. You'll be able to tell by the circuit board on here. Alright, so what you'll want to do is heat your contact points up. As soon as the solder starts to melt, the tab, you can pull it, slap off the push the talk button. It'll come slap off. Once you have that off, you'll need to take you some wire. Take you some wire and solder. Solder, you need it. Alright, take your wire, poke it into your contact holes on the soldering board, run it through. Oh, can you see me? Alright, here we go. Alright, you'll run it in and solder it on where this button originally was. With that soldered on, that'll give you an extension off from the CB. Alright, so with the wires wired on, that gives you an extension. Now what you'll need to do is you'll need to have a button, of course, right? Alright. Well, this is a button, but this is not the kind of button slash switch that you'll need. This is a selector switch. You will need a momentary switch. A momentary switch is a button that only works as long as you hold the button down. That'll be what you need. Alright. Mine, on my helmet, I chose out of an old PlayStation controller. That's a momentary switch. So if you got an old game controller around, that's a momentary switch. Use that. Save you some money, man. Buy some really nice stuff. Use the old junk around the house, man, that works and looks good. Alright, that's what I used. So you'll want to take your switch and wire it in. Get your switch wired in. When you have your switch wired in, that'll give you an extension on the CB. With the extension wired in on the CB, that leads us to our next step, the power. Now we will need to extend the power out on it. how you're going to extend the power on this one is look for your contacts. Alright, this is your power right here. The contacts are here. Alright, now not all models are like this. A lot of them have the wires directly hooked to the board. And all you need to do there is to snip the wires, tie in some wires to it, and use you some shrink wrap when you splice into it. Always use shrink wrap so that the wires don't touch. But if your model is like this one, say you go and buy this one, this is what you're going to need to do. You're going to need to solder your wires onto here. Doesn't matter what order. You'll need to solder your wires onto here. Then come to your board with how much ever wire that you want. Give yourself plenty. But you'll need to solder them onto your contact points here. Here and here. Now the key thing with this model, like what I've got here, is that you will need to make sure that you have the wires lined up on the proper thing of the board. Now it doesn't matter red or black. Just make sure that you do not have them crossed over. Red to red, black to black, you know. Okay. Now with that said, that'll give you a power supply extension so that you can tuck it into your helmet wherever you want. You can do like what Josh did, and you can hack a piece of this off so that it'll give you just a little bit more maneuverability in there to tuck it into places and stuff like that. You're really just going to have to play around with it and get a feel for it yourself as you do it. But that will give you an extension for your CB. Now, installing the CB. With mine, I took and hacked the back of the CB off. Alright, let's see, right there, can we see good? Okay. I hacked the back of my CB off and threw the piece away. I chose to use a little power pack that I bought at Radio Shack right there. The key thing to it though is to make sure that you keep the same amount of power going to the CB, that you do not go under or exceed the power. Alright, but back into this. My CB is secured with hot glue. I just run hot glue around the outside of it to get it to stay. I didn't get any on the circuit board or anything like that. I don't know if it would mess with it. I doubt it, but that's how I secured mine. Now my wires are secured the same way. The ones that are secured with hot glue, and it's just stuck to the side of the walls and stuff like that. But on my button here, you'll have to cut you a notch out on there. This is what I did. Cut you a notch out and hot glue it in there. My button, like I said, is just out of a PlayStation, but that's how you do it. That's my helmet. I'll show you a finished product. This is what it looks like on Josh's helmet. His insides are done. He used a foam pad with a felt paper over it and cut out these little blocks on the inside to make the helmet complete on the inside and very, very comfortable to wear. His CB, as you can tell, is right here, and it is nicely secured in there. It looks good on the inside of it. It's all nice and neat. See, he chose different buttons than I did, and I chose a PlayStation button, but he chose a button out of an old mouse. So you can use a button out of an old mouse too. But that's basically it. That's how it. That's how we put the CBs in our helmets for Comic-Con and Dragon Con. Excuse me. I hope this tutorial helps out with anybody that is wanting to put CBs in their helmets or wherever. I do have another idea for CBs, and that is to wire it into the gauntlet. I have not figured out exactly how to achieve the CB inside the gauntlet, but I will be working on it, and as soon as I come up with how to do it, I'll post it on there on the website. this is Iron Kamikaze, and I hope my tutorial helps everybody out. Alright.